Good afternoon, children. Today we are going to continue with the reading of Comet 1. Thereafter, it took just 1 week for Comet Datta to be recognized and so named. For the IIA confirmed the findings and communicated it worldwide, and according to the accepted practice, the new comet was named after its discoverer. This brought in unwelcome publicity to the introvert Dattada. There were numerous receptions and functions to attend. Returning from such ceremony, Dattada muttered to himself in disgust, I almost wish I had not discovered this comet. To his surprise, Indrani Devi agreed, I wish the same, though not for the same reason. May I ask you why you wish I had not discovered this comet? Dattada asked. Comets bring ill luck, and I wish a good man like you were not associated with the discovery of one. Indrani Devi said with concern. Dattada laughed. I see that even an MA degree has not cured you of your superstitions. There is no correlation whatsoever with the arrival of a comet and the calamities of the earth. On the contrary, the comets have been scientifically studied and their composition is well understood. There is nothing harmful about them. Well, you will soon see this comet of mine pass harmlessly by causing no anxiety to anybody. In this last comment, however, Dattada was not going to be exactly right. In the spacious dining hall of King's College, Cambridge, the butler whispered deferentially in the provost's ear and handed him an envelope on a silver tray. The provost beckoned James and passed on the envelope, saying, It seems you're wanted urgently in your room. As he made his way towards a beautiful building, James opened the envelope. It contained a brief note. Dear Dr. Fawcett, the bearer of this note has been instructed to bring you to my office in London tonight. Please come without delay. I'm making arrangements for you for your overnight stay in London. I regret the inconvenience caused to you and request you to keep your visit strictly confidential. Believe me, it is absolutely essential. Yours sincerely, John Macpherson. The signature carried the designation underneath. Defense Science Advisor, Her Majesty's Government. Now, next page. A bowler hatted man near the mantelpiece greeted him as James entered his sitting room. I am Johnson, sir, security office at Whitehall. He showed his identity card and continued. I presume you know why I am here, sir. To the extent that is conveyed in this note, replied James. He knew that it would be useless to ask Johnson for further details. I won't take long. Johnson Ford Cortina brought them to Whitehall in less than 90 minutes. It took them another 10 minutes to reach the chambers of Sir John Macpherson. Having introduced James to Sir John, the quiet but efficient Johnson slipped out. Dr. Fawcett, my apologies for this imposition on your time. Sir John advanced with outstretched hands. To avoid any further delay, I will come to the point right away. Sir John handed him a typescript. Why, it's my name to the nature. How did you get this original manuscript? James was surprised and somewhat uneasy. Sir John saw his anxiety and continued. Taylor, the editor of Nature, is a friend of mine. I had asked Nature to publish it without delay since it is very important. James looked puzzled. I agree that it is important. So important, in fact, that it must never be published. That is, if what you say is correct, Sir John lit his pipe. James would never have tolerated aspersion on the accuracy of his work or the implied order that it must be suppressed, but he knew Sir John to be respected scientist and was willing to hear him out. Thank you and have a nice day.